Welcome to AlbertRHartley.com. We're responding to some feedback that we've received on Facebook, and one of the comments that happened was they wanted to know how to do estate planning. They didn't say on the cheap. They just said, avoiding some high cost. Now, there's some companies out there called LegalZoom, Red Docket Docs, or some other things that allow you to do it yourself. Let me say this to you. That is a mistake, because doing estate planning really is about a more holistic idea of what you need to plan out the rest of your life. The document itself is pretty inexpensive. I mean, most wills, you can get LegalZoom documents for pretty cheap. I would caution to stay away from not having that reviewed by somebody. More importantly, don't let the cost affect you. I think you should do some research, meet with a couple of different attorneys, make sure they have a background in estate planning. You can go from a simple will to a really complex trust depending on your estate and your needs. I think that for years lawyers pushed living trust, which if you look at some of the other videos, I described that as sort of your box that holds your stuff. I'm not so sure that's the right way to go for a lot of people. You can accomplish the same type of estate planning with a will, a power of attorney, an advanced medical directive, a living will, a healthcare proxy. Wherever you're living, you need to consult with the lawyers in that state or commonwealth to determine what's proper. But I think there's a myth out there that these are really expensive things to take on, that they're not that expensive. I mean, for a couple $100 you can get a will. For good power of attorney, advanced medical directive, so another couple $100. I think you're going to see ranges there between $300 to $600, which are really cheap compared to what you're getting in advice. You'll spend that in cost if you don't do it correctly. So this is not a DIY, a do-it-yourself situation. I extremely oppose that. I think what you should do is look at the internet for information, brush up on what that information provided, then take your questions to a good estate planning lawyer, someone who's done this a lot, and ask a series of questions and look for competent answers. Okay? They should know the cost up front. The cost should be comprehensive. Does it include the consultation? Does it include the transfer of your assets to the trust if you do a trust? Are they going to handle retitling assets at the bank or your stocks and bonds? These are questions you should ask and get a good feel about what it's actually going to cost you. Here's the thing I want to leave you with. If you do a will, that's great. You make sure you retitle certain assets the way you want it. However, if you do a trust, the number one mistake on living trust is that you don't fund it. Meaning, you've got your box, don't flip my box again, but you don't retitle assets to put in there, like your home, or your stock accounts, or your checking accounts. Those things have to be retitled, okay? So don't let the cost affect you. Do some research. If you got any questions, feel free to send them to me. I'll do the best I can to answer them to give you some more help. Thanks for visiting AlbertRHartley.com. Looking forward to speaking with you in the future. Bye-bye.